Red onion isn't just a spicy garnish. Here's why it deserves your attention. Have you ever noticed how after a long day at work or in the garden, when your body aches, that little voice in your head starts urging you towards something simpler, something healthier? You're not alone. Millions of Americans between the ages of 30 and 60, the very generation that grew up on burgers and fries, are now actively searching for ways to live longer, feel more energized, and rely less on pills. And here's the surprising part. One of your most powerful natural allies might already be sitting in your fridge's crisper drawer. It's red onion. Not just a colorful salad topping, but a true nutritional powerhouse packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and bioactive compounds that can support your health in ways you never expected. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand why red onion is far more than just another ingredient, it's a quiet kitchen hero, but you'll also learn smart, practical ways to use it to boost immunity, reduce inflammation, and even improve digestion, all without extra cost or stress. Let's start with the basics. What makes red onion special? First, its looks aren't just for show. Those deep purple layers come from anthocyanins, plant pigments also found in blueberries, blackberries, and cherries. Anthocyanins are responsible for red onion's impressive antioxidant punch. In fact, red onion contains nearly twice as many of these compounds as yellow or white onion. Antioxidants neutralize free radicals, unstable molecules that steal electrons from healthy cells, damaging DNA, proteins, and fats. Over time, this damage leads to chronic inflammation, accelerated aging, and a higher risk of conditions like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. That's why it's so important to replenish your antioxidant supply through whole foods, not just supplements. Now, a little history. Onions have been cultivated since ancient times. In Egypt, they symbolized eternity. Their round shape and endless layers reminded pharaohs of eternal life. Egyptian laborers building the pyramids were even fed onions, believed to boost strength and ward off illness. Ancient Greek Olympians ate onions before competitions for endurance. And in medieval Europe, onions were used as antiseptics, applied directly to wounds to prevent infection. While we don't exactly slap raw onion on open cuts today, hopefully, modern science confirms that onions truly do contain antimicrobial compounds. Red onion is especially rich in quercetin, a flavonoid scientists have been studying intensely for the past 30 years. Quercetin isn't just another antioxidant. It has anti-inflammatory, anti-allergic, and even potential anti-cancer properties. In one study published in Nutrition Research, researchers compared quercetin levels across onion varieties and found red onion contained up to 1,910 milligrams per kilogram, nearly double that of yellow onion. For perspective, apples contain only about 5 to 10 milligrams per kilogram. That means 1 cup of sliced red onion, which is roughly 160 grams, delivers as much quercetin as 10 apples. I know, this might sound too good to be true. I used to think it was just another healthy food marketing gimmick, but then I dug deeper. Consider this. According to the CDC, about 60% of American adults suffer from at least one chronic condition: diabetes, high blood pressure, or obesity. While genetics play a role, lifestyle and diet are factors we can control. And that's where onion can become a quiet but reliable ally. One of red onion's most impressive benefits is heart health support. How does that work, you might wonder? Well, first, it contains these sulfur compounds that help relax blood vessels, which lowers blood pressure, a major risk factor for heart attacks. Second, quercetin reduces bad LDL cholesterol and prevents its oxidation. Oxidized cholesterol is kind of like rust in your arteries. It forms plaques that narrow blood vessels. In a study at The Ohio State University, participants who ate just 70 grams, or about 2.5 ounces, of raw red onion daily, saw their LDL drop by 15%, and their good HDL cholesterol rise by 10% in just 8 weeks. That's not magic. It's food that works. Another key benefit is blood sugar regulation. Many of us, especially after 40, notice energy crashes after carb-heavy meals, often called a sugar crash. This can signal insulin resistance, where cells stop responding effectively to insulin. Red onion contains chromium, which is a trace mineral that improves insulin sensitivity. Plus, its polyphenols slow glucose absorption in the gut, preventing those blood sugar spikes. In a 2020 study published in the Journal of Dietary Supplements, people with type 2 diabetes who ate 100 grams of raw red onion daily lowered their fasting blood glucose by 40 milligrams per deciliter in just 4 weeks. That's comparable to some oral medications but without side effects or pharmacy bills. Now, about that raw versus cooked debate. Yes, cooking can degrade some nutrients, but not all. Heat actually makes quercetin more bioavailable when onions are lightly sautéed. Still, for maximum benefits, raw is best. But how do you eat it if it's so pungent and makes you cry? Here's a pro kitchen tip. Soak sliced onion in cold water for 10 to 15 minutes. This washes away some of the sulfur compounds responsible for sharpness while preserving most antioxidants. Or you could try marinating it in apple cider vinegar with just a touch of honey. It makes a delicious health-boosting salad dressing. And yes, about the tears. Why does onion make us cry? When you cut into it, an enzyme reacts to form a volatile compound called propanethyl S oxide. It irritates your eyes, triggering tears as a protective reflex. To minimize this, slice under running water, use a super sharp knife. Less cell damage means less gas. Or seriously, wear swim goggles. A friend of mine in Florida swears by this method and laughs at my brave, tear-streaked onion chopping face. Now, let's talk digestion. Many avoid onion because it causes bloating, especially those with IBS. But for most people, red onion is a great source of prebiotic fiber, primarily inulin. Prebiotics feed the beneficial bacteria in your gut. Without them, probiotics, like those in yogurt, can't really thrive. A healthy gut microbiome is linked to better mood, stronger immunity, and even a lower risk of depression. Harvard researchers even found that people with diverse gut flora are less prone to anxiety and chronic inflammation. And here's an unexpected bonus. Red onion may help fight colds. It sounds like an old wives' tale, but there's science behind it. Onions release phytoncides, which are natural antimicrobial compounds. Try leaving chopped onion in a room. It can help purify the air. Of course, this isn't a replacement for vaccines or masks, but as an extra layer of protection, why not? Of course, red onion isn't a cure-all. It won't replace medication for serious conditions, but as part of a balanced diet, paired with vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats, it's a powerful preventive tool. Remember, small changes create big results. Add onion to your salad, tacos, burgers, even omelets, and you're already stepping toward better health. By the way, if you've read this far, you've already shown care for your well-being. That deserves respect. If you found value in this, drop a comment below saying, "Onion, my quiet hero." It helps YouTube's algorithm share this video with others seeking simple, honest ways to stay healthy. Don't forget to like this video. It's my morning coffee, and subscribing ensures you never miss future videos on food, health, and stress-free living. Now that you know why red onion is so beneficial, let's move to part 2. How to actually use it in real life. Which recipes and home remedies really work? Stay tuned. Now that you understand why red onion is far more than just a vegetable, it's a true ally for your health. It's time to put that knowledge into action. In this section, I'll share proven, practical ways to weave red onion into your everyday life. Not as a medicine, but as a delicious, easy, and affordable habit. No exotic ingredients, complicated steps, or expensive supplements required. Just items you can find at any US grocery store, from Walmart to your local farmer's market. Let's start with the basics. How to store red onion to preserve its benefits. Many people toss it straight into the fridge, but whole, unpeeled onions actually store best in a cool, dark, and dry place, like a pantry or a kitchen shelf in a mesh basket. Moisture and heat are its enemies. They encourage sprouting and spoilage. Once cut, however, store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator, but no longer than 3 to 4 days. Why? Because exposure to air and moisture breaks down those precious enzymes and antioxidants. One more tip: don't peel or chop your onion ahead of time. Prepare it right before eating to maximize its nutritional punch. Now onto food. The easiest way to start? Add sliced red onion to every salad, but don't just toss in a handful and hope for the best. Try this trick. Thinly slice the onion into half moons. Soak them for 10 minutes in a mixture of water and apple cider vinegar. 1 tablespoon vinegar per cup of water, then drain and rinse. The result? A mild, slightly sweet flavor with a gentle tang and zero onion aggression. This version pairs perfectly with grilled chicken, tacos, burgers, or even an avocado toast. Here's my go-to everyday recipe: red onion, quinoa, and crispy tofu salad. Start with 1 cup of cooked quinoa, packed with protein and fiber, especially important if you're over 40, since we lose muscle mass faster than we think. Add 100 grams of tofu, cubed and pan-seared in olive oil with garlic. Then toss in half a cup of your marinated red onion, a handful of arugula, some chopped cucumber, and fresh parsley. Dress it with lemon juice, a pinch of sea salt, and a drizzle of honey. This dish isn't just tasty, it's perfectly balanced in protein, healthy fats, and complex carbs, delivering steady energy without blood sugar spikes. And the red onion? It's not just a garnish. It actively boosts iron absorption from the quinoa and enhances antioxidant uptake from the greens. For meat lovers, try a Greek-style burger with red onion and yogurt sauce. Use ground turkey or beef, organic if your budget allows. And honestly, you can find great quality even at Costco. Mix in finely chopped red onion, about 1/4 of an onion per pound of meat, a pinch of oregano, salt, and black pepper. Grill or pan fry the patties. Serve them on a whole grain bun or wrap them up in crisp lettuce leaves if you want to keep it lighter. For the sauce, just combine plain Greek yogurt, 2% fat with no added sugar, grated cucumber, minced garlic, a pinch of salt, and a little more chopped red onion. This sauce replaces mayo and ketchup, cutting about 200 to 300 calories while adding gut-friendly probiotics. Now, let's talk home remedies. I know many of you are skeptical of old wives' tales, but when science backs them up, they really do become smart choices. One of the most effective uses for red onion? At the first sign of a cold, chop half an onion finely, cover it completely with raw, unpasteurized honey, available at Whole Foods or from local beekeepers, and let it sit for 12 hours. The honey draws out the onion's juices, creating a natural syrup. Take 1 teaspoon every 3 to 4 hours. Why does it work? Onions contain allicin, a potent antimicrobial compound, while honey has anti-inflammatory and soothing properties. In a small Iranian study, participants with coughs who used this onion honey syrup actually recovered 2 days faster than those using honey alone. Oh, and an important note, do not give honey to children under 1 year old, and definitely avoid this remedy if you have a rare honey allergy. Another trusted remedy is the onion compress for earache, especially helpful for parents and grandparents. Grate a small piece of red onion finely, wrap it in clean gauze, gently warm it, not hot, and apply it to the outside of the painful ear for 15 to 20 minutes. Never insert anything into the ear canal. The onion's phytoncides and essential oils may help ease inflammation and discomfort. This isn't a substitute for medical care, especially if there's a fever or severe pain, but it's a reasonable first aid measure. What about using onion to help manage blood sugar? Try this. Finely chop 1/4 of a medium onion, pour a cup of boiling water over it, cover, and steep for 8 to 10 hours, ideally overnight. Strain and drink it on an empty stomach in the morning with no sugar or honey added. Used consistently for a month, this infusion may help lower glucose levels, especially if you're already following a low-carb diet. Important: if you're taking metformin or other blood sugar-lowering medications, talk to your doctor first to avoid hypoglycemia. Speaking of medications, many in the United States take low-dose aspirin for heart health. Did you know red onion also has a mild antiplatelet effect, meaning it slightly thins the blood? That's generally beneficial, but if you're on blood thinners like warfarin or clopidogrel, don't suddenly increase your onion intake without consulting your physician. Health isn't about extremes, it's about balance. Now, let's clarify detox. I'm not talking about those $99 juice cleanses or fasting. What I really mean is natural liver support. Red onion contains sulfur and quercetin, which are compounds that help your liver break down toxins, from alcohol to medications. So, an easy way to harness this? Just add onion to your lunchtime soup or stew. You could try this simple liver-supportive vegetable soup. Sauté finely chopped red onion in olive oil until it's soft. Then add chopped carrots, celery, lentils, and cover everything with broth. Homemade bone broth is ideal if you have it. Let it simmer for about 30 minutes. It's light, nourishing, and supports your liver. No detox teas required. Snack lovers, this one's for you. Mexican-style pickled red onions. Thinly slice 1 onion and pour over a hot brine made of 1 cup vinegar. Apple cider or rice vinegar works. 1 cup water, 1 tablespoon sugar or honey, 1 teaspoon salt, and just a pinch of cumin. Let it cool, then store it in the fridge for up to 3 weeks. You can use these in burritos, on egg toast, or honestly, just straight from the jar. The vinegar actually stimulates stomach acid production, aiding digestion, so they're as functional as they are flavorful. Finally, onion tea for stress relief. Yes, really. Add 2 or 3 thin slices of red onion to a cup of hot water, along with a few slices of fresh ginger and a squeeze of lemon. Let it steep for 10 minutes and sip in the evening. The quercetin in red onion may help lower cortisol, which is the stress hormone. It's not a replacement for therapy, of course, but it makes for a calming ritual to wind down your day. Remember, health is built through small, consistent habits. You don't need to eat onion every hour. Just include it in 3 or 4 meals per week. And yes, whether you're vegetarian, vegan, keto, paleo, or just swapping burgers for broccoli, red onion fits every lifestyle. If you've tried even one of these ideas, drop a comment below. Onion, my quiet hero. It's more than a phrase, it's a community of people choosing mindful living over fleeting trends. Give this article a like if it helped you see a familiar vegetable in a whole new light. And be sure to subscribe. More honest, science-backed, and simple tips are coming for those who value their time, health, and peace of mind. Because being healthy isn't about sacrifice. It's about making wise choices, day after day. And red onion? It's your ally on that journey.